How a stupid 5-word text message saved my life. Have you ever had that tiny, nagging voice in your head tell you that something is wrong, even when everything on the surface seems absolutely perfect? My best friend Nora and I have been inseparable since our freshman year at Penn State. A few years ago, after watching way too many true crime documentaries, we came up with what we called the SCARF protocol. It was simple, almost silly. If either of us was ever on a date and felt even slightly uncomfortable, we'd send a text asking about a specific item. The phrase was, "Did you find my yellow scarf?" No matter what the other person was doing, they had to call immediately with a massive, undeniable emergency. We joked about it. We thought it was just a funny way to escape a boring guy who talked too much about his crypto portfolio. We never, ever expected it to actually save a life. It was a rainy Tuesday night in downtown Seattle. I was on a first date with a guy named Julian. I'd met him through a local hiking group. He was incredibly charming, drove a nice car, and worked in tech. We went to this upscale, dimly lit Italian restaurant. At first, the conversation flowed easily. We laughed about hiking disasters and terrible coffee. But then, the vibe shifted. We were about 45 minutes in, and Julian started asking questions that felt a little too specific. He asked if my apartment building had a doorman. He asked what time I usually get home from work, and if my windows face the street. I tried to brush it off, laughing it off as just awkward small talk. But when I mentioned I was tired and should probably head home soon, his smile completely vanished. He leaned across the table, looked me dead in the eyes, and whispered, "Why rush? It's not like anyone is waiting up for you, right?" My blood turned to absolute ice. He hadn't just asked about my routine. He knew I lived alone. I'd never told him that. My hands were shaking under the table as I pulled out my phone. I unlocked the screen, kept my voice steady, and texted Nora 5 words. "Did you find my yellow scarf?" Less than 2 minutes later, my phone vibrated on the table. Nora's name popped up. I picked it up on the first ring, and her voice was frantic. She was crying, practically screaming. She said her water heater had burst and her apartment was completely flooding. She said she was terrified. The water was reaching the electrical outlets, and she needed me to come help her turn off the main valve right now. She was brilliant. It was the performance of a lifetime. I looked at Julian, put on my best panicked face, and said, "I'm so sorry. My best friend's place is flooding. I have to go." I didn't wait for him to respond. I threw a $20 bill on the table for my half of the drinks, grabbed my jacket, and practically ran out the door. When I got to my car, my heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. I locked the doors, drove straight to Nora's place, and we sat on her couch, drinking hot tea, laughing about how dramatic the whole thing was. We thought we'd just escaped a creepy guy. But 4 days later, Nora calls me. Her voice was shaking, but this time, there was no acting. She told me to open my laptop and check the local news. There was a picture of Julian. He'd been arrested that morning. It turned out he wasn't a tech worker at all. He was a convicted felon who had been targeting solo women through local social clubs, using fake names to gain their trust before breaking into their homes. I sat there, staring at the screen, my hands trembling all over again. If I hadn't sent that text, if Nora hadn't called me when she did, I don't even want to think about what would have happened. Sometimes paranoia isn't paranoia at all. It's your survival instinct screaming at you to run. And sometimes a stupid 5-word text message is the only thing standing between you and a nightmare.